My disc rotor is worn out. I now have to do a couple extra steps. So if you need to replace your disc rotor, follow along. Okay, to get at this brake pad, I'm gonna remove this carrier. Or the disc brake. This only applies, you only have to remove this if you remove the disc brake. So I have a 16mm socket. And there are two bolts right around here. One on the bottom, one on the bottom top that I'm gonna remove. Just the one on the top. Same thing, one on the bottom. There we go. There's the two bolts. 16mm to take them off. And then this whole thing. There we go. That pulls off. The next step in replacing the disc rotor right here is to remove this pin. And this on the BMW E36, it takes a 6mm Allen wrench. So I've got that. And you really need, I've seen people use regular Allen wrenches, but they're often extremely tight. So it helps to have something that you can really put down on there. Okay. That. Now, usually these are pretty tight on here. And you can hit the surface with a hammer to break it loose because they kind of rust on here. In my case, it should be pretty easy to get off because I just took them off a little while ago. And I put anti-seize to make sure that they don't freeze on there. In order to get the actual disc brake off, which you're ready to do at this point, you've got to make sure that the parking brake is also off because the parking brake squeezes onto this. So I'm going to go make sure that my car is thoroughly blocked so it won't roll anywhere. Chocks under all the wheels. And I'm going to take the parking brake off and then pull this off. Parking brake is off. You kind of tap it here. And I can already see it's moving. Comes right off. Now, I will be honest, they usually don't come off that easily. If it's been a while, they're really frozen on there. You gotta hit it with a hammer a bit and take some time to persuade it. Okay, here's the removed disc brake, and here's the problem. Some clear rust where the disc brake is warped and not making contact. Alright, I have some copper anti-seize to make sure that this disc brake doesn't get stuck on. The new disc brake, disc rotor, and a new retaining bolt. So, time to put all that on. First and foremost though, good idea. Smear some copper anti-seize on here. Coating it helps prevent it from rusting on, so that the next time you have to replace your disc rotor or take your disc rotor off for any reason, you'll be able to get it off easily. Sometimes these come with a light coating of oil just to keep them from rusting while they're on the shelf, and I'm just spraying it clean. This is just brake cleaner. So just gonna line that up and gonna put my new set screw in there. Again, this is a 6 millimeter Allen wrench right here. Tighten it down good. That's all set. You're ready to put the brake carriage on. Grab your 2 bolts. Now use a 16mm socket. Got it good and tight. Now that this is back on, we're back to the point where it's just a standard brake pad replacement.